Good morning, dear students. Welcome to third session of science class. As you know, we have started the chapter force and pressure. In the last two sessions, we have discussed about the definition of force. Then we have also discussed about magnitude of force. We have also discussed about effects of force, and we have also discussed about types of forces. In today's session, we'll discuss about pressure. So let's get started. So let's discuss the definition of pressure. Force acting per unit area is known as pressure. So the definition of pressure is force acting per unit area. The formula for pressure is force divided by area, that is force upon area. So if we divide the force by the total area on which the force is acting, then we'll get the value of pressure. From the above formula, we can say that pressure is indirectly proportional to area. Thus, pressure decreases with increase in area and increases with decrease in area. So we can say that pressure is indirectly proportional to area. So if we increase area, then pressure would decrease. Now, our next topic is distribution of pressure. Force acting on a smaller area applies more pressure than the same force acting on a larger area. For example, potters place a round cloth on their head to increase surface area and reduce pressure. So we have seen potters place round cloth on their head to increase surface area. So if surface area increases, pressure decreases. A sharp knife cuts better as more pressure is exerted over a small area. So we have seen that sharp knife cuts better than a blunt knife because sharp knife has less surface area. So more pressure can be applied. Now, examples of relationship between area and pressure. Shoulder bags always have broad straps rather than thin straps in order to minimize the pressure that would be exerted on the shoulders of the carrier due to the gravitational force acting upon the bag. So our bags, the shoulder bags have broad straps. So a broad strap would increase surface area. So it becomes easier to carry shoulder bags. Tools that are used for cutting and piercing always have sharp edges because as the person would apply a force on the tool, its sharp edges would exert more pressure due to less surface area and the object would cut down easily. So the tools which are used for cutting and piercing have sharp edges that would reduce surface area and thus pressure will increase. So we can say that pressure area and pressure are inversely proportional. The tires of a tractor are wide because it minimizes the pressure exerted by the tractor on the ground. As a result, it becomes easier to move tractor on a muddy field. So we have seen that tractors have wide the tires which are very wide. The tractors have tires which are very wide. So these because of these tires, less pressure will be exerted on the ground. So it becomes easier to move a tractor on a muddy field because it reduces pressure. Camel can walk easily over the sand because it has wide feet which allow them to walk on sand easily. Human beings, on the other hand, cannot walk easily on sand as their feet have less surface area and therefore our feet sink in the sand. So we know that camels can walk easily on sand because they have wide feet. So it increases surface area. So camels can walk easily on the sand because it ultimately reduces pressure. Our next topic is pressure exerted by liquids and gases. Liquids and gases can also exert pressure on inner walls of the container in which they are kept. So liquids and gases also exert pressure on the walls of the container in which they are kept. Water starts leaking if there is a pore in the bottle. This happens because water exerts pressure over the walls of the bottle. So if there's a pore in a bottle, water starts to leak because water exerts pressure on the walls of the bottle or on the walls of the container in which it is kept. So we can say liquids and gases can also exert pressure. When air is filled, a rubber balloon gets inflated from all sides. This happens because air or gas exerts pressure over the inner walls of the balloon. So if air is filled in the rubber balloon, its size increases because air exerts pressure on the walls of the balloon. So we can say air exerts pressure. Our next topic is atmospheric pressure. Our atmosphere is made up of different types of gases, and we know gases exerts pressure. Since gases exert pressure, the pressure exerted by air present in the atmosphere is called atmospheric pressure. So the pressure exerted by the gases present in the atmosphere is called atmospheric pressure. We know there are different types of gases present in the atmosphere. So the pressure exerted by gases present in the atmosphere is called atmospheric pressure. The amount of atmospheric pressure acting upon us is quite large due to the large surface area of the atmosphere around the earth, but we do not experience its effect. So the amount of atmospheric pressure acting upon our bodies is quite large, but we do not feel its effect. This is because the pressure of the air inside our body is equal to the atmospheric pressure. There are fluids present in our body that exert pressure inside our body. So we do not feel its effect because there are different fluids present inside our body, like blood and other fluids, and we know fluids exert pressure. So these fluids also exert pressure, and the direction of this pressure is opposite to the direction of atmospheric pressure. So the effect of atmospheric pressure gets nullified. So we do not feel the effect of atmospheric pressure. Hence, our bodies easily obtain balance with the atmospheric pressure. So this is how our bodies easily obtain balance with the atmospheric pressure. So this ends the chapter. We have studied about force and also about pressure. So I hope you must have understood. Thank you for watching.